Moana and Megamind, M&M. Two films that are some of the most beloved projects either of these studios have ever put out. But you know what else these two movies have in common? They both just had sequels announced out of the blue. Last week it was revealed that Megamind would be getting a straight-to-streaming movie alongside a brand new animated series, while Moana just had its sequel announced out of the blue this week. Slated to release in theaters November 2024? This year? How the hell did they keep this under wraps for so long? How did both of these films evade press releases or the good old rumor mill for so long? Probably because both of these sequels are not what they seem. If you're expecting either of these to be traditional sequels, then I'm sorry, you're falling for their trap. This Megamind sequel and this Moana sequel are actually TV shows reworked into cash grabs. Now, I'm not saying these sequels are going to be bad, but given they were designed for an entirely different viewing experience, there's a reason for concern. Let's talk about it. Peacock has been firing off on all cylinders this year. I wonder why. As not only have they put out the instant classic that is Ted the Series, and oh god, they're bringing back Caillou, but they're also prepping for the premiere of the long overdue television series, Megamind Rules. Announced a couple years ago in February 2022, Megamind Rules, originally titled Megamind's Guide to Defending Your City, is a follow-up to the 2010 movie, where Megamind goes from being a supervillain and the scourge of Metro City to a superhero who's learning on the job. He'll be bringing the audience along for the ride, as Megamind's trusty brainbots will be recording everything, making him the world's first superhero influencer. Alan Schoolcraft and Brett Simons, who wrote the original movie, will executive produce the series alongside Eric Fogel. J.D. Riznar serves as co-executive producer and story editor. Running with the influencer angle is already going to bring about some mixed reactions, but I think most people who heard about this were just excited to have more Megamind in the world. It's already regarded as one of the more underrated Dreamworks films, and a goldmine of meme potential. And with the original writers on board, I have no idea how this could possibly go wrong.
Oh no, it all went wrong!
What the fuck is this? Peacock kicked February 2024 off by announcing that the Megamind TV show would be released on March 1st, 2024, alongside a brand new movie, Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate. And people hated this shit. Most people don't keep tabs on press releases and studio release slates. They rely on YouTubers to tell them all that, only to immediately forget those projects exist until there's an actual trailer. No shade, by the way, there are clearly bigger things to worry about in this world than Megamind's giant ass head. Fans of the original movie were highly let down by this reveal, dunking on the animation quality, the premise, the poster looking like a licensed game from 2008, and the fact that the movie cast has been replaced with affordable sound-alikes. It's almost like this isn't really a movie, but the first few episodes of the TV show stitched together so they can trick fans into thinking that this is the sequel they've been begging for. Oh wait, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, I think everyone would have been a lot kinder to this trailer if Peacock was honest about this being a glorified pilot and not trying to make it seem like something that's on the same level as the original film. People are used to television follow-ups working with limited resources and thus not being as visually impressive as the original movie, nor having the money to bring back such a star-studded cast for an entire season. My impression is that Dreamworks was well aware that Megamind had a huge resurgence in popularity at the end of the 2010s, and that people have been hoping that if any Dreamworks movie would get a sequel, it'd be Megamind. So they'll definitely settle for this. Except we're not. We want to spend $20 at an AMC, lose our minds at Nicole Kidman, and watch a Megamind sequel with theatrical quality animation. They should have presented it as the start of the series and not a companion piece to it. I guarantee, even if it didn't have the same reach, it would have gained a lot more respect and generated a lot more excitement. I mean, hell, look at Ted. That's a TV series, and it's conquered the internet by storm. It's pretty obvious this is just a ploy for Peacock to net more subscribers by disguising a run-of-the-mill Dreamworks show as an epic event you have to pay to see. Joke's on you, Peacock. People are just gonna watch the Shafrillis review before logging it into Letterboxd. You guys get it. It's deceptive in a way that goes beyond basic clickbait, and it's already backfiring on them heavy. And I don't think I would care too much about this if this practice sadly wasn't already catching on, as Disney just blindsided the world with Moana 2. It's not really Moana 2. After receiving an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors, Moana must journey to the far seas of Oceania and into dangerous, long-lost waters for an adventure unlike anything she's ever faced. So right off the bat, Bob Iger was transparent about this being the Moana show that was originally slated for Disney Plus, retooled into a movie that's now rolling out into theaters this year. But despite being pretty open about this, it feels way more egregious, as instead of finessing a $6 subscription out of their consumers, they're getting parents to cough up at least 5 times as much to watch something that was designed for the small screen. According to Iger, they were so impressed with what they saw from the TV version of the story and felt the need to release it in theaters. How many subscribers did Disney Plus lose in the last quarter again? Checks out. As far as we know, they have done next to nothing to give this story the accommodations it needs to thrive in the box office. What do I mean by that? Well, Lin-Manuel Miranda isn't writing the songs for the movie because they couldn't afford him when it was just a show. Instead, it's being written by a TikTok duo who wrote an unofficial Bridgerton musical. Again, no shade. As a fellow content creator, I'm rooting for them. But don't you think they probably feel a lot more anxiety now that the music they wrote for this is no longer being featured on a low-stakes TV show, but instead a movie that's going to be in theaters all across the globe? I hope they nail it, but if the critics aren't fucking with their songs, the soundtrack's going to get ripped apart much harder than it would have if it stayed a TV show. It's still being animated by a different studio than Walt Disney Animation proper, their new vendor studio in Vancouver, which exists to skirt around union wages. Isn't that just great? And that's not to say the animation will be bad. That teaser looked pretty damn good, although we have no idea the animation was made just for the announcement, which has been the case with some trailers under the Disney umbrella in the past. I just don't know if we're getting theatrical quality out of it. It's so backwards how this company went from putting movies made for the big screen onto their small screen streaming service to putting projects made for the small screen into theaters. The crew behind Moana 2 didn't even know it was becoming a movie until it was announced. And this highlights how they're doing this for the exact opposite reason that Peacock is trying to disguise this Megamind pilot as a sequel. Peacock wants more subscribers for their service. Disney, on the other hand, is no longer using Plus to make a quick buck, at least not entirely, and is turning back to movie theaters to help pay the bills. First, you had the Pixar movies that they shackled to Disney Plus finally being given a theatrical run when everyone stopped caring. Now this? It feels like they're in panic mode and are doing anything to squeeze money out of moviegoers after realizing they might have fell off over the past 4 years. History is repeating itself before our very eyes. They tried this before with Atlantis: Milo's Return. It was a sequel they released in theaters that was really episodes of a TV show that they gave up on, producing new animation to make the narrative a bit more cohesive. And this is my only real concern about Moana 2 as a movie: the pacing issues that would naturally arise from turning a 3 to 4 hour season of television into a 90-minute to 2-hour movie. What's going to end up on the cutting room floor? How many good ideas are being lost to something that only exists because Iger wanted an animated feature for the upcoming holiday season? Can they really stick the landing when the original vision has seemingly been compromised? Also, they didn't have The Rock coming back to voice Moai before. They better be throwing however much money they need to re-record some lines, or else fans and The Rock himself are going to be pissed. The hierarchy of power in the Disney universe is about to change. Oh wait, while recording this, it turns out that they're in talks to get The Rock back! They were gonna have a sound alike! They don't even have Moana herself back? What are we really doing here? Oh God! And if this movie flops, or any of the bajillion sequels the mouse is cooking up, I really don't know what the future of Disney as a studio would look like. But as scary as that may sound for the inner kid in me who loved this studio for so long, I'm also kind of scared to see what happens if Moana 2 is a success. Like, a really big success. How many other Disney Plus shows are going to get the movie treatment, old or new? Are we going to see Monsters at Work Season 2 turn into Monsters Inc. 3? Are they going to re-edit WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier into movies? How many unannounced Disney Plus projects are currently in development and are going to get the green light as movies? The latter might not be as bad, but still scary shit to think about as someone who appreciates television and movies as two separate vehicles for storytelling. Also, we're getting like Disney Fortnite. I don't know if I like that. Epic might have hit the stage of doing too much. We peaked with Peter Griffin, but as always, these are just my thoughts, and I'd love to hear yours. What are you most excited for? Moana 2 or Megamind 2? Which will feel the most like, oh, this was definitely a TV show first? Let us know in the comments down below, and keep the conversation going over on Twitter and Insta at AwestruckVox and at Roundtable Vids. Check out Toonjet for some dope cartoon merch, and if you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like, and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. See ya!